morning to everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our bulletin this Sunday morning, the 21st of April, 2024. You are listening to the club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, known as ZS6STN, and your newsreader this morning is Mike Bath, ZS6XYZ. This club bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 0845 on the following frequencies: 145.700 megahertz FM in the 2 meter band, and 7115 kilohertz lower sideband in the 40 meter band. It also goes out on our Echo link, ZS6STN-R, the node number 901594. I'm going to move on to reading the highlights from the main part of the SARL bulletin. The main part was news back from the 2024 SARL National Convention. On Friday evening, the 19th of April, delegates gathered at the Garden Court Hotel, Nelson Mandela Boulevard in Cape Town, and were welcomed by Rob, ZS1SA, chairman of the Cape Town Amateur Radio Centre, at a cheese and wine function. The 2024 SARL AGM started at 9:15 Central African Time on Saturday, the 20th of April, at the Hotel Conference Centre, with 57 members present and 259 proxies. The youngest member at the meeting was Cameron, ZS6CYE, and the eldest was Barry, ZS1FJ, at 91 years old. While the AGM was on the go, the partners were taken to the V&A waterfront. Nico, ZS6QL, presented the President's report. The report is available in the SARL annual report, which is available on the front page of the League website. Corrie, ZS6CDB, presented the financial reports to the meeting, with financial motions 2024-02 and 2024-05 were accepted with 316 votes in favour and no votes against or abstaining. Motion 2024-06 and 2026-06 and 2024-07 were not approved, with 320 votes against and 315 votes against. Motions 2024-08 and 2024-09 were approved, with 360 votes in favour. Motion 2024-10 was approved, with 315 votes in favour. The following members were elected to serve on council for the 2024 to 2026. Dave Higgs, ZS2DH, Carl Zaynate, ZR6K, Chris Turner, ZS6GM, Rassi Erasmus, ZS1YT, Dennis Green, ZS4BS. The Secretary will provide a report about the AGM to members in the coming week. The annual financial statements were all approved. The SARL Awards Dinner, some 70 people attended the SARL Awards Dinner at the Garden Court Hotel. A presentation was made about the SARL 100 project leading to the 100th birthday of the SARL in May 2025. Below are some of the awards handed over at the SARL Awards Dinner on Saturday evening, the 20th of April. The SARL Hall of Fame, the following silent keys were inducted into the SARL Wall of Fame: Dennis Wells, ZS1AU, who's silent key; Martin Dupriez, ZS6ZY, with the silent key; and Hans Kipichin, ZS6KR, who was also silent key. The Willie Wilson Gold Badge awarded to Donovan van Longenberg, ZS2DL, and Corrie de Beer, ZS6CDB. The Chris and Annie van der Merwe Gold Award was awarded to Anne Barham, Secretary of the Cape Town Amateur Radio Club; Heather Holland, ZS5YH, the Boerland Amateur Radio Club, and the Cape Town Amateur Radio Club. The Jack Twine Award was awarded to Sabran Chili, ZS1L, Peter Saul, ZS1OA, Donnie van der Merwe, ZS1OSS, Colin Porter, ZS1RS, Harvey Hoon, ZS5R, Adele Tyler, ZS5APT, Sydney Tyler, ZS5AYC, Harvey Bosman, ZS6AVI, Minty Lartman, ZS6HPL, Diana Nell, ZS6SAR, Tommy Mostert, ZS6THM, Lizette Skippers, ZS6ZET, and Johan Besaidnout, ZS6JBZ. The ICOM Excellence Award was awarded to Andre van Deventer, ZS2BK, for his satellite work in achieving his VUCC award. The TNS Langer 7066 Technical Excellence Award was awarded to Eddie Latergang for the development of the Cool logging system. The full list of the awards will be published in the May issue of Radio ZS. Finally, just onto some content news. The ZS SOTA activity is no longer a one-day event. It will now be a weekend event. ZS SOTA Autumn-Winter Activity Weekend will run from 0000 to 21:59 UTC on Saturday the 4th and to Sunday the 5th of May. You can register your SOTA activity on the ZS SOTA Facebook page. You can read more about the activity weekend on page 64 of the SARL contest manual. Finally, a propagation report. Hannes Kutsia, ZS6BZP, reports that the SOLEX activity is expected to be at low to moderate levels. There are currently 14 sunspot regions with simple to complex magnetic configurations visible. There will be a high probability of C and M class solar flares. If you want to do your own frequency predictions, the expected effective sunspot number for the week will be around 157. The 10 and 30 meter bands may, especially in the late afternoon, provide some good DX fun. Then finally, just a couple of things on some upcoming events. 24th of April, our Sandton Amateur Radio Club our Tech Talk. 25th of April, Marconi Day. 27th of April, Freedom Day, Morse Day, and the SARL 40 meter club contest, and Marconi Day activities, which is the 1st of May, Workers' Day. Then that 4th and 5th of May, the ZS SOTA Activity Weekend, and the AWA Valve AM QSO Party. The 8th of May, the early morning coffee QSO Party. So those are the main items out of the SARL Bulletin. I'm now going to move on to some club news and ask if ZS6HI might want to start off with that and give us a bit of an update as well as perhaps giving us the birthday list. And also if there was anyone who has any more news on the AGM, then please also call in. But I'm going to hand over the mic now to ZS6HI just to give us some club news and just to give us the birthdays. ZS6HI, this is ZS6STN.
Good morning, Mike, and thank you very much for the bulletin, well received on my side. Just to give you a little bit of feedback on what's happening, on the 24th this Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the evening will be our Tech Talk, and that will be really including a lot of retrospective on the QRP contest and the QRP contest going forward. So it's really a co-creation event where we discuss what's worked, what hasn't worked on the QRP contest, what lessons can we learn, what rules should we change, and how do we make that event more interesting and exciting for everyone to participate in. Then there's on the Saturday, the 27th of April, is the 40-meter club contest. And yes, we would like as many Santonites to participate in the 40-meter club contest as possible, because that's where we earn points for the club against our peers, the other clubs around the country. And we always are quite competitive, as you know. Always have fun, but we also like to win. Then just to let you know, we did speak about the HF assessments and the RAE coming up on the 18th of May. And I know that Graham and Justin are arranging a second HF assessment for the students that might have missed out or would like to just have a refresher as well before the next RAE on 18 May. Then you've given a little bit of feedback on the National Convention, and it sounds like the Cape Town ARC has done a phenomenal job of running that National Convention. I was unfortunately not present, but I would like to say a very big thank you to the Cape Town ARC and the SARL for the event that they put on. I do know that Colin de Villiers and Brandon, ZS6 Lima Zulu, were present at the AGM, and Brandon did give group. And I would have to say congratulations to Brandon. He got the Brian Jones SOTA Award. So, not unexpected, Brandon. You are the SOTA Bunny, or Energizer Bunny, as we say, activating all those peaks for all of us around the country, and are very active as a chaser as well. So, congratulations to Brandon. He's really set the bar for the SOTA, and he's got a lot of us interested in the SOTA events. Then the QRP contest. As you know, the last QRP contest was on the 6th of April. So the contest assessment team has been from Sandton has been going through that, and we are going to be announcing the results on the SARL next week. So that will also align with some of the ideas that come through, hopefully on Wednesday evening during the Tech Talk as well. But thank you to all those who participated and did submit their logs. Brendan also mentioned that the Sandton Arc was awarded the Club Excellence Award again. So congratulations to all Santonites. It is awesome to be recognized as one of those clubs that is trying to drive amateur radio through the country and really just keep it going positively, because I know that some of the Santonites are very active in SOTA as well as in various other activities. So I don't know if Brendan is online. I don't expect so. He's probably had a late night, or Colin, or anybody else that attended the SARL National Convention. But if they are, it would be wonderful to hear from them. Back to you then, Mike. ZS6STN, ZS6HI.
ZS6HI, thank you very much. This is ZS6XYZ taking over the mic of ZS6STN and continuing with the Bulletin. Just to ask another further call out, is there any other committee members that might want to call in with some Sandton Amateur Radio Club news, or perhaps anyone who's got more report backs on the convention? Before we move on, this is ZS6STN standing by.
Oh, Mike, I did forget to give the birthdays, so let me just fill in there with the birthdays since nobody else came on. So on the 23rd of April, it is Henk Janssen van Rensburg. So happy birthday to Henk for his birthday. And the next one that I've got on the list here is Sasha Yoko on the 2nd of May. There are a few behind us, but we just did announce those during the last week's meeting. So those are the ones for the near future. Thank you very much, Mike. ZS6STN, ZS6HI.
Thanks very much for that, Keith. Yep, great. Thank you for coming back in with the birthdays. I'll now move on to sort of final story, just amateur radio related, but actually one I found on the web which is more fictional, but I just thought it was a great story that tells the whole thing behind amateur radio and how the hobby gets you excited and gets you doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Once there was a brother and sister named Max and Lily. They were always looking for new adventures, and one day they found an old ham radio in the attic of their house. Excited by their discovery, they quickly set to work, setting up the radio. They strung wires up in trees and spent hours tuning the dials and listening to static. Just as they were about to give up, they heard a faint signal coming through the radio. It was faint and garbled, but they could make out a voice. Is anyone there? Can anyone hear me? The voice said. Max and Lily couldn't believe this. They had made contact with someone from outer space. As they listened to the voice, they realized that it was an astronaut who had been stranded on a distant planet. He had been trying to call for help for weeks, but no one had been able to hear him until now. Max and Lily were determined to help the astronaut. They worked tirelessly to amplify the signal and figure out a way to bring him back to Earth. As they were searching for a solution, they stumbled upon an old flagpole antenna in the garage. They quickly realized that this could be the key to improving the signal and getting the astronaut home. With the help of their parents, they set up the flagpole antenna in the front yard and were amazed by the result. Not only was it aesthetically elegant, they were able to communicate more clearly with the astronaut, but the patriotic flair of the flagpole, now also an HF vertical antenna. It also caught the attention of the whole neighborhood. One neighbor asked, "Where can I get one too?" Little did they know how important its dual use as a real DX antenna for their ham radio. After weeks of hard work, they finally succeeded with the help of the flagpole antenna, they were able to communicate with NASA and arrange for the astronaut to be rescued. The astronaut was grateful to Max and Lily for their help, and the two kids were thrilled to have made a new friend from outer space. They continued to talk to the astronaut over the ham radio and even visited him at the space station when he returned to Earth. Thanks to their ingenuity and determination, Max and Lily had the adventure they would never forget. So yeah, that was just an interesting, fun little story, but I thought it just explains the hobby and the passion and why people do what they do in amateur radio. Brings us to the end of the Sandton Amateur Radio Bulletin. Thank you to everyone out there for listening. Please feel free to give comments. Thank you to the stations who help on a regular basis with our relays, our recordings and rebroadcasts, and for those who contribute to the content from time to time. Join us again next Sunday at 8:45 Central Africa time for the regular bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. This is a ZS6STN operated by ZS6XYZ, saying 73 and 88 to all our listeners. We will now relinquish all frequencies for general use.